Hi there. My name is Miss Moore, and I am very, very delighted to be one of your children's history teacher this year. So this video is going to provide you with a very brief overview of what to expect with Google Classroom. I've got a couple of real life scenarios, and hopefully it'll help incoming sixth grade families navigate the organizational beast that is middle school academia, and to our returning seventh and eighth grade families to just serve as a gentle reminder of kind of cool way to keep track of your child's academic progress without being too in their face and in their business, because we know that teenagers don't like that. So I have created a fake Google Classroom, but the examples that I use are real life examples in terms of what you can expect. So what you'll see on the screen in front of you is the Google Classroom application opened up in my Google Chrome browser. You can also do this on your iPad. It might look slightly different, but generally once you have a hold of Google Classroom, it is very intuitive and you should be able to figure it out just fine. So if you look to the left side of the screen, you'll see a couple of little tabs that you'll select. You'll see over here highlighted at the moment is History with Miss Moore. Your child will definitely have many more options below that. Generally, your student will have a Google Classroom per their course. So there might be a math one, science, art, history, English language arts. So there'll be multiple ones listed down here. Because this is a fake one that I've created, it is just History with Miss Moore. So first, I'm going to show you what the Google Classroom looks like, and then I am going to show you how to navigate the diary aspect, the organizational part of it. So when you click on your course, so over here we've selected History with Miss Moore, it'll take you over here to the course page. This is the stream, which is similar to a social media stream. This isn't necessarily important work. This is just to show some sort of an activity that happens. What's really nice is they'll show to the left over here is a little tab that'll say there are upcoming assignments. When the teacher posts assignments, you'll get that, or resources. And sometimes the teacher might even make an announcement. Like here, for example, I said, don't forget to bring your markers to class. It is not an assignment, so I don't want to create a separate assignment post on the Classwork page, but it is something that I want them to be cognizant of, and they should be getting a notification when this happens. Okay, that's the stream page. If you move up towards the top of the screen, you'll see Stream is selected. And just to the right of that, there is a tab called Classwork. So this is the bones of your Google Classroom, and I absolutely love it. Different teachers organize their Google classes in different ways. This is how I choose to organize my Google Classroom. So you'll see over here, there are different topics. Generally, I like to have the most recent topic that we're busy with at the very top so that students don't have to scroll to get there. We want to make it as easy as possible for them to choose and select their assignments. And it'll be by unit. So over here, you can see Unit 6, the Civil Rights Movement. In a real life situation, you would see below Unit 5, the Cold War, Unit 4, the Bay of Pigs invasion, or whichever topic it is. How I like to structure my different assignments is I like using emojis so that students immediately can tell what type of assignment or post it is. So anything that has a little red exclamation mark means that it is something that is graded, which is important, obviously. And then a pencil indicates that it is a written assignment. So all of these are graded written assignments. To the bottom over here, you'll see a little person with a monocle. This is generally what I use when I share additional information, such as classroom notes. Or if I maybe shared a really cool video in class, I'll use the little video and they can click on this and access the video that we watched in class. For all of my subjects, I give the students a physical handout of their classroom notes. However, if for some reason they misplace it, it is their responsibility to print out a new copy, or they can just go over here, and for each unit, you will then see a PDF come up of their classroom assignment or classroom notes that we will be using for that unit. Here are all of the different assignments. The only one that's a bit of an anomaly over here is this upcoming history test. I will often for tests create assignments with a due date that reflects when the test is taken to help them with organization. Let's click on one of these and see what happens. So this has been assigned. Your child has not yet turned anything in. And over here is all the information for the history test. I'll give them what to expect in terms of how the questions will be asked, what they need to study, special things to pay attention to in their notes, as well as additional study resources such as a Quizlet, if you click over here, which might help them on their test preparation. This one, the upcoming history test, is an anomaly because it is not actually an assignment, but all of the ones below are different types of assignments. This is the bones of your Google Classroom. If you look to the left at the taskbar on this side of the screen, you will see a to-do list. And this is essentially going to be your child's digital diary, their organizer that tells them what to do. We've got a couple of situations that I have created over here. It's important for you to select all classes that your child is enrolled in so that they're able to see if they have math, history, science, art, music, whatever it is. Or you can select, if it's just history, maybe I've sent you an email and asked you for a bit of additional support at home. You can then just see the history coursework as well. So let's have a look at all classes, and you'll see again it's divided into 3 different sections. Section number 1 is work that is assigned. Section number 2 is work that is missing. And section number 3 is work that your child has completed. All 3 of these have value. We're going to start with work that is assigned. So if your child comes home, this will be your first point where you look and you'll go, oh my goodness, my wonderful child, you have 2 things that have been assigned to you. Let's have a look at what they are. So this week, we have something due. Due today at midnight is the assignment on Malcolm X. Maybe your child goes, oh, Dad, I'm almost done. You can actually just click on that and see whether or not they're telling the truth. Here we have assignment 7, Malcolm X. We know that it's graded. It's for a total of 15 points and it is due today. And to the right, you can see your child's work. If you click on this, it will open up the tab with your child's work. Here is the assignment where your child is notified to read some notes and then answer these questions. And as you can see, your child is wonderful and was telling the truth. And they have started and are doing a really wonderful job, but they have not yet completed their assignment. It's due today, so that's probably something they're going to have to focus on when they get back from soccer. Not all teachers do this, but I do. I always put the points value for each of my assignments on the side so that students know how much information I'm looking for. Okay, so your kid's going to do their Malcolm X assignment. Fantastic. Once your student has completed their assignment, on the right, they are going to push the orange Turn In button, and the teacher will then receive their assignment. Let's go back to the to-do. You will remember we've got something due today, but then far away in the future, there's also something that's due. And this is when you can click on it. That's where it pops up that you have an upcoming history test. That's why I always add it as an assignment with a due date, because it just helps for planning. If your kid maybe doesn't have any homework that they can do, you then know, listen, kiddo, you've got that history test coming up. Let's work a little bit on that. The one that many parents are always wondering where it is any missing work. Maybe you had to take your child out of school because they had a dentist appointment, and you're wondering after a day that they weren't at school if they're missing something. You're going to click over here. And here we see your child only has one assignment which is missing, which is the assignment 5 that we worked on last week. Maybe your child's already started it. Let's click and see. It's only for 5 points. So sometimes with 5-point assignments, kids just won't do it because they don't think it's worth much. But every bit counts. Over here, we can see your child has not yet started on any of this work. So this missing assignment is definitely going to be something that your child needs to work on. So this is where you see missing work. And then finally, just because your child has completed work doesn't mean that you never have to look at it again. If, for example, you are concerned about your child's grade, this is a really good place to see what it might be that your child had done wrong. So let's go over here to work they had done earlier. Here is an essay where they got 18 out of 20. If you click on this assignment, you will see over here is the teacher rubric, which gives you an overview of what the teacher was using to grade this essay. I like using rubrics for anything that might be subjective to make sure that my subjectivity is taken out of account and whether or not your child is meeting these markers. If you click on these arrows, it gives you more information in terms of how I was grading. It isn't just introduction, these are the things that I want you to respond to in your introduction. You're welcome to click through this. You'll see claims and evidence of the things that I am really weighing the most in terms of point value because it's the substance of your essay. And here you can see that your wonderful child has lost some points on their conclusion as well as styles and conventions. So they always get this rubric ahead of the work that they do. And over here, you can also see any private comment that the teacher would have made to your student to try and guide them or provide them with feedback. If you want to further learn from your mistakes, it's often worth clicking on the assignment where you can then see any of the edits that the teacher would have made. So over here, as I read, often I will grade and just provide them with feedback as I read. Students can choose to accept this feedback or to revise it. The final thing that I want to show you is answer keys for assignments that are not as subjective as essays that don't have rubrics. Here, for example, your child did late. They submitted late an assignment over here on the March on Washington. And if you open this up, you will see at the very bottom of the assignment, I will often, so I'm just scrolling down right now, I will often include the answer key so that they can see. Here, for example, I will say, see answer key. This is where you went wrong and lost your 2 points. And they can then go and see the entire answer key for their assignment. This really helps with the growth mindset for the students as well. So that is Google Classroom in a nutshell. Of course, there is so much more nuance to it, and every single teacher's Google Classroom has their own flavor. This is just how I do it. There's also a calendar function that helps show you when assignments are due if your child likes visually seeing work like this. Today they have their Malcolm X assignment due. Next week they're a free agent, but the week after that on Friday, they've got a test. So that's entirely up to you and how your student likes to learn and likes to organize themselves. But that is my very brief overview of Google Classroom. I hope you enjoyed it.